Hello, good evening, everyone. We have Irsyad, Morpheus, and also imCaveman right here. For today's purposes, I will address Morpheus as Marish and imCaveman as CG. They've already been doxed, so no point hiding it anymore. Yeah, I think Irsyad and Morpheus, they don't need an introduction unless they want to after this. But CG, you mind to introduce yourself to the public, because I don't think majority of the people know who you are or what you do just yet.
Yeah, thanks, Sinji. I'm doxing you as well. So, I have actually been. We met each other on Clubhouse, like what Irsyad has mentioned. But I'm more in the real life, not in the digital world. I'm more into sports and events. But that's my first love, lah. All right. But since in the last 1.5 years, due to MCO, crypto has taken over my life most of the time. So I'm here to share, but it's non-financial advice. So please keep that. This is for educational purposes and some satire, just for some fun and laughter. That's all.
Yeah, just to be clear, guys, for the audience, today's event is nothing related to Pentas or whatsoever. Even though we have 3 Pentas team members over here, so it's just a for fun event. You already can see the title is just for the memes. But yeah, okay, thanks CG. You don't want to elaborate more on what you do in your real life? You just say you like sports. Is that it?
Oh, I'm also actually a loyal member of Persatuan Peladang Crypto Malaya. So the president is there, the guy with the penguin, the most expensive PFP in this whole arrangement, right? Irsyad, of course, that one is Irsyad's one is totally cannot value, the only one and only.
Yeah.
So no, this orange become trademark already. Later you will be a hexagon.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I'm a loyal member of Persatuan Peladang Crypto Malaya. So if anyone here want to apply, maybe during the bear market, now we're a bit too busy trying to kutip hasil ladang, and so jokes aside, so I actually organize events. I also participate in events, very much into sports, but I love technology. All this while since I was in high school, I've always been in the field of IT as well. So blockchain actually intrigues me lah. Everything in blockchain is like so new, right? And we are all such pioneer into this. So it's never too old to learn, and never too old to learn new things,
Yeah, you're right. Hey, hi Marish. Apart from your involvement in Pentas, prior to Pentas, what do you actually do? I'm actually curious.
I'm a supply chain and supply chain specialist, and also licensed oil and gas trader. Basically, I buy and sell oil, crude oil. That's what I do.
Buy and sell ship with oil.
Tanker, by the tankers. Not futures.
So how did a person who buy and sell crude oil came to get involved with NFTs and come to all these Degen plays, blah blah blah?
I was how to say, my sifu is down there. His name is Lost Star. He started teaching me about crypto in 2014, 2015. But we are young. We were so young and naive. I was a miner back then, so I have a mining farm, blah blah blah. So we are mining Ethereum, but we were so young and naive. And then at that time, there's a crypto card. It's called Zapu. You can literally use that Zapu card for anything, everything in Malaysia. But now no more lah.
I see. Okay. Irsyad, on to you. Prior to Pentas, what do you actually do? I heard you're a programmer.
I start my career as a software developer. But what I do prior to Pentas is if you go to LRT station, if you see vending machine with touchscreen, there's a high probability that software is actually built by me.
Oh.
So, if you go to KLIA, you will see a touchscreen vending machine. There's a green color that vending machine, but now it's no more. But I think now there are 2 new. Actually, they are different. How to say? different company, but either whatever company is that, at the end it uses the same software. So as of now, I think in level 5 there are 2 or 3 touchscreen vending machine. So the software is actually my startup that built that software.
Wow. I think I might have bought from vending machine quite a few times lah. But safe to say now vending machines are kind of running out of business, isn't it? During the COVID pandemic.
During COVID is a bit very challenging. I won't say much lah, but it's a bit challenging during pandemic. So that's why I for the past 2020 2021 basically I survived because of crypto. Wow. Other than that, life is a bit hard because you have things you need to settle. You have a business to run lah. But they are thanks to crypto. Because of crypto, I managed to survive. I managed to meet up with the talented people, and yeah.
You managed to meet up with the talented people, and then you guys became the talented people yourselves already, taking over the masters.
Shad, when can we buy Coca-Cola with crypto?
You will see soon. Actually, one of my product is quite surprised. I'm not sure if you guys notice. If you see like in LRT station Abdullah Hukum, I'm not sure where did my client put lah, but there are multiple location. But the one that I know is in LRT Abdullah Hukum. If you see there's a vending machine with QR code, you can just buy any products. You just show your QR code on the machine, then you automatically deduct. Actually, that payment process is actually done by me also. But again, that was prior to Pentas. I start to build that since 2017 until to 2020. Until today, it's still running. Because at the end, it's just a cloud subscription service. So people pay monthly like for per vending machine. So yeah.
So it's kind of like passive income.
Sort of. Yes.
Oh, that's a very good investment right there. Yeah. So none of you actually thought of this idea of Pentas during the pandemic itself, and I guess it just very naturally came in as a crazy idea when you guys were talking with each other in Clubhouse every day, I suppose.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And during these tough times, I'm sure none of you would have been like maximum Degen, go and FOMO into these coins without doing research, which is literally the topic that we are talking about today. Now, when we're talking about Degen, right, I think this is very personal to everybody. Everybody has their own definition of what Degen is. We'll start with Irsyad. What do you think Degen means? Like, what is a Degen play?
One word, gambler. Degen is a gambler, man. You do whatever, you didn't do any research. You just FOMO in. That's it. One word, gambler. Degen is gambler.
That's it? Is it that simple?
Yeah. Should be lah. I don't know. But for me, I see Degen is before this session, I'm not really. I even Google what is the Degen definition, just to let you guys know. I don't want to miss out with the terms or whatever. Then I said, I know there are many people stole Degen into this, Degen into that. Then, yeah, I just Google. I want to see what is the right words. So actually, the right words is, if you ask me, it's a gambler.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the more acceptable definition when it comes to crypto and NFTs being a straight up gambler. Marish, what do you think? Degen.
The same gambler. It is. It's like a license to go full retard. You don't do any research. You just FOMO in. It is true. Yeah.
Wow.
But then again, if these are all whatever I say is my own personal experience, opinions, not financial advice or anything or that sort. So, but I do that knowingly I will lose that money. You understand? When I go Degen, that means when I join a protocol, knowingly that I will lose money if I FOMO. There's no research whatsoever, but yeah. It is. What Irsyad says is true. In one word, it is a gambler.
Yeah, it's kind of like also, I mean, if you say you go there and you're ready to lose your money, like when you go to a casino or whatsoever, then it's kind of like, I would say it really ties into the gambling part also, like, you just go like, oh, I'm all in. I don't care if I lose this money or not. If I lose, I lose. If I gain, then I gain a lot. So it's kind of also a big part of it is luck. If I would agree with you all also. How about Caveman? What do you think, man, Caveman?
I put it in a very simple word. Main tikam.
CG, that is just a translation of gambling, right?
No. Main tikam is more halal. Gambling is not halal.
Miss tembak everywhere and see
Yes.
this one kena.
Yeah, kena satu you dapat lah. Yeah, but okay, so I guess there's always a degen in every one of us lah. The word degen was wrongly used, or maybe because everything in crypto is always a very gangster word, OG lah, degen. I think it was just a way of explaining the risk that we take. But if you look at that in your life, right, there's a lot of things in your life you do degen, right? You go and find your girlfriend, right? You meet your girlfriend, you thought this girl you like very much. You also do a degen, right? Ask for dinner, let's go and have a dinner and get to know each other. That's a degen move, isn't it? You main tikam, you take a risk, you gamble on whether the relationship can work or not. So I wouldn't say that's that bad, but everybody say that degen is a bad word. But I think being a human, we are always striving to be better. So we always take the risk. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, take the risk and move on. Right. So you might tikam lah.
I don't think main tikam will make us a better species.
Yeah, tikam must make sure you 50-50. Yeah.
But it does. When I don't know how to explain this in English of what is main tikam, but anyway, but it does, Shinji. When you go degen, I think let's talk about all this DeFi protocol. Let's say you've been doing it in 6 months, right? 6 months. Ultimately, you will gain that kind of like a foresight, like experience. When you want to tikam, this project you cannot go with this one. You have that.
But what is the project that which is clearly they mentioned, okay, this project is a rug-pull project, but at the end there's a lot of people previously you told me what is the project, but of course that project already rug lah. But it's clearly state that the TVL, this one is Marish told me, the TVL, it's not like 1,600%, no, it's like, it's high, bro.
Trust me.
Trust me, is high, bro. That type of project is like, fucking hell. It's not like they didn't put 1 million APY, no. It's a word of, trust me, is high, bro. And yet,
yes. And then it's written rug all over. I think Caveman knows about this as well. He's the one that told me about it. But
Yeah.
Funny thing is, total value lock of that protocol is $2.5 million. People knowingly that he already said it's a rug-pull project, but knowingly people still goes in. Wow, this degen culture is really not good.
Again, this is totally against whatever common sense advice, because it's really weird. Why we bring this up? For those who follow us since Clubhouse, we will normally tell people, please avoid memes type of coins, shit coin, we call shit coin, memes type of coin and whatsoever. But people really, I don't know, there are some project that is clearly state there, this is a rug-pull project, or maybe okay, it's clearly state there, okay, this is Ponzi, which means is what do you guys think? If let's say the project clearly state this is a Ponzi project, take at your own risk, will you degen on that, or will you like, I don't know?
I think Irsyad, what they're trying to do is that they're like, I know it's a Ponzi scheme, okay, I know it's a rug-pull project, so I'm gonna go in early and get out.
That's called the degen move lah,
man.
bro. That's the degen move. But Irsyad, remember towards the end tail of the Malaya Crypto Clubhouse, we were trying to pick out all the shit coins and Ponzi schemes and tell people don't go inside. Remember, we tried to try target all this.
Oh yes.
Yeah, schemes that's going around, trying to educate people that don't just FOMO in because everybody is in. Because most of the time you get rug. Most of the time actually you get rug.
Yeah. Don't worry today, guys. Today the session is about the ultimate guide for degens. So we can go two ways about it. We can give good advice, bad advice also. As long as we end it as not financial advice, then we are set, guys. Don't worry. We are legally set. We are okay.
Whatever it is, there's no shield, there's no promotion or whatsoever. Whatever project, we will censor that because we don't want people to go.
Of course. We are trying to be a bit less degens, because those straight up degens will directly tell you what projects to buy, like this, that, that, this. Yeah. There was also kind of like a website called Ponzi.io that existed in the early, I think 2013 or something like that, which is clearly stated that this is a Ponzi scheme website, and I think people still went to donate Bitcoin to that website. And after that, the founder, of course, just ran away. Yeah, it's all in all, I think Degen is basically gambling. And FYI, guys, Degen actually stands for degenerate. It's the short version of degenerate. Now, if you Google what degenerate means, it literally means having lost the physical, mental, or moral qualities considered normal and desirable, showing evidence of psychological decline. So,
hey, Morpheus, that's you, Morpheus. Hey,
no, continue, Shinji. Continue.
Sorry to butt in.
It already ended there already. You can just Google search degenerate and then you come up with the same thing.
Yeah, but I think degen, even NFT is a degen play, right? If you guys agree with me, we buy it because of perceived value, right? So maybe we like the drawing or the artwork, but it's a very degen play as well. So that's it.
Yeah, I would say maybe some of the artworks can be considered degen plays. If you're in a collectible project or something like that, we're definitely not going to name any projects tonight, but because you're expecting someone else down the line in the future to buy your product at a higher price. Whereas if you buy, I would say, real artwork, as in this case, fine arts or whatsoever, then you are really like the real buyer, and then you really appreciate the art. You're not looking forward to flip a 10x into it. What do you think, man? Morpheus or Irsyad?
Wait, what was the question again? I didn't quite get you.
You see, he's concentrating on. Yeah. So futurists, I agree on that one. So there are two groups of collectors, right? One is like, for me, I buy art based on what I like. Yeah, so I find that there is value in what I see, and probably in future we may be able to flip it and get much better value out of it, right? But there are also, I know, listeners here as well, a lot of them made a lot of money by flipping NFT itself, right? So making money over money because of NFT, which is a great move as well. I mean, it's an investment, and every investment comes with returns, right? But the word degen itself is really taking the risk. Even if you buy an NFT, you don't really know people will like it or want to buy it. So that, just to come back to the context of degen, so it's very similar as well.
Yeah, basically going back to the point of somewhat gambling. Okay, you want to flip it for a 10x profit, and then you expect this project to fly. But there's also some sort of strategy to it. There's also some sort of analysis to it. But have you guys actually made any degen plays before? Share it with us, man. Share with the audience what is your most, I would say, degenerative play you have done in your crypto journey so far. Probably we'll start with Caveman. CG, why not you start first?
Degen move, a lot, man. I don't know when, where, and how to start talking about that. Probably take the whole night. Non-financial advice, but yes, I've made a lot of degen move because I've learned from the president of Persatuan Peladang, and we together as well, I mean, learn and listen from other people as well to move. We got burned, we learned our lesson, but we also made some good investments along the way as well. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's all bad, but as you move you do one mistake, you move forward, forget about it, and learn, and don't get into another one. Just don't get into another bad relationship with another protocol.
Yeah, but you didn't actually specify what was the worst play you made.
Oh, the worst player.
Yeah.
Wow. Man. Well, I don't want to name protocols, but one in Binance Smart Chain, one in Polygon, maybe 5-6 in Polygon. I guess the biggest loss was a 5-digit number. That was the biggest one. Yeah, it was going very well, but something happened with the protocol within the owners of the protocol, and we lost that funds. It's all missing.
Oh, they went missing. So wow.
Got pulled from right underneath.
Oh, so this is not an NFT project. This is more like
No, not NFT lah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's really sad, man.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Marish, you want to share a bit on your experience on what is your most Degen play?
Fuck. I do.
Still early, Marish.
I do a lot of Degen play. Please, I'm not a good role model. I do a lot of Degen play. I how to say? I lose a lot. But how to say? The worst play. The worst play is. Okay lah. I'm just going to name that protocol. It's called Iron Finance. Okay.
But
it's not a rug pull. But
bank run,
it's not a rug pull. It's a bank run where people just take out their money from that protocol. So the thing is that is my worst experience, because I put all my Ethereum savings for the past 3-4 years into a liquidity provider token, LP token. So when the other token has no value, so all my Ethereum is gone. So that was the worst, because it's like you cannot get back the Ethereum price you bought 4 years ago. So it's gone in that protocol. So that is my worst play.
Yeah, especially when you're doing liquidity pool tokens, right? You're farming essentially, and then if one site actually disappears, you actually can't. It's called impermanent loss lah. And if you recover that, realized. So
there's no recovery from that.
Yeah.
If you've seen a rug pull kind of graph, yeah, it is exactly that. So the thing is, what hurts me the most is actually you cannot get that Ethereum price at like 4 years ago price anymore. That is really sakit hati lah, that one.
Oh, but it's I guess it's a lesson well learned lah. So at the end of the day, being a Degen still kind of teaches us something, I would suppose.
Yeah. Also, one more thing I just want to add as well. Marish will know that once you put risk into another layer of smart contract over another layer, example like an auto compounder, actually it's a big risk. Yeah. So because that itself, I got burned quite massively as well, and it was actually hacked and the funds were all stolen. So taking that risk, understanding the first layer and second layer risk, is something that we learned along the way as well. Nobody taught us, the risk of putting to another smart contract to put the auto compound function.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Remember? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's actually something that we didn't know until, oh gosh, we lost it. And then we just finally figured that out.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
But Shinji, I really want to hear what is Irsyad worst play.
That's what I like.
He's not a Degen, but I really want to know.
You guys know me lah. You guys really know me. I won't say this, but if I say, I'm not sure either it is a brag or it is a not a good things lah. Actually, I never been robbed at all.
Oh! Touch wood. We're gonna touch some wood right now.
Why? I am on a stable farm, using stable coin.
One more thing I want to add: he's a developer, so he can read that contract.
I was mostly before I am on Polkadot, 6 months staking, things like this. I didn't go DeFi as much as Marish or imCaveman. I didn't go that details. But there's one invention. I just share. I won't give everything. There's one invention called flash loan. Okay. If you understand what is flash loan means you can borrow a loan. You do whatever you need based on that. You pay back within the same block. You just pay the fees, which is 0.006 fees. So if you have that skills to know to utilize this kind of technology, will you go to DeFi? Maybe not. Maybe you will do arbitrage maybe on DeFi, example. So if you have that area that you can execute, so people like me, normally I won't park. I just see what are the opportunity, especially on DeFi, and utilize based on that. So that is what I do. That's why I didn't go heavily on how to say on, but this one is against my principle. Also, before this, I did mention about shitcoin. Actually, I did buy Dogecoin, and I take like maybe I buy at 0 point something, and during the almost near $1, I cash out. Means this is something that Degen move, but it profit me. It profit me. So, but this is really not a financial advice because that move is really, really risky, and you need to precisely calculate when you want to enter and when you want to exit. And yeah, so one of the invention right now that I love because people invent this is, I said just now lah, flash loan. Flash loan means you can borrow. You imagine now there is a technology where you can borrow without collateral. Damn man, this is, if you tell to any normal banker, do you know in DeFi you can borrow money without any collateral? Yes, it is. You know that? There's a lot of door open for you.
Yeah.
That's a Degen. Totally Degen.
That's... I wouldn't consider that degen lah, Varish. I think that would be capitalizing on an opportunity before the regulators come in and say that, oh, actually, you know, those developers are making tons of money from it. But yeah, we talk a bit about flash loans, right? You actually have to repay it within the same block.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the condition at the end of the day. And you will also have to pay for the gas fees. So essentially, you need a tiny bit of money, and also dependent on where you conduct the flash loan, which chain, right? Because if it's Ethereum chain, then wow, you're gonna be incurred a lot of gas fees. Am I right, Irsyad?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
That again, that is a very calculative move, because whatever you execute, you already know what's gonna happen. So if you know this execution will give you feel, or the percentage is so low, which is even it is passed, but the margin is so low, you won't execute. So you will only execute maybe once a month or twice a month if you see the gap and the opportunity, especially when the market volatile. You just execute one per month, or maybe twice a month, or maybe 2 months once. So this is very calculative move lah. So which means yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting right there. Whoever wants to learn more about flash loans, and if you guys know a bit about developing, I think maybe you can refer to Irsyad because he's very enthusiastic about flash loans, and it's definitely a very interesting place to explore. So it's pretty new, I would say. Yeah. But when we come back about degen stuff, right, we tend to flood a lot of our money once a project heats up or when a crypto is pumping hard. You just take a look at, okay lah, sorry to say Dogecoin lah, when Elon Musk was at the Saturday Night Live event, right? Everybody prior to that Saturday Night Live event, everybody was like really hyped out about that coin, and many of times you've seen many projects like this, and then we end up getting burnt with losses. You know, after that we realize that we fall into FOMO and then we get ourselves burnt. How do we actually, you know, stop ourselves from this FOMO or hype? Irsyad, you want to start?
Actually, it's very hard not to avoid, because you see, if you want to do degen move, whatever amount that you want to do is actually the amount that you are really willing to lose, right? If let's say, okay, you have this, maybe you invest in whatever coins, and that coin doesn't earn much, maybe 3x, so you just take out 50% profit out of that, and this 50%, okay, this is for degen move. You know when to enter. For example, during fear greed index, mostly fear greed index, if low means, of course you can buy whatever fundamentals coin, but at the same time you also can put into like shitcoin, either Doge or SafeMoon or whatsoever. But during fear greed, because there's a meme economy that always sometimes the how to say the growth 10, 20, 30x. So but of course there's a risk there. So it means you only put the amount that you're willing to lose, and that's the only move that I do lah. I'm very boring. I'm very boring. I didn't go deep into DeFi. I didn't go I just see if there's a common sense type of action. We know during fear greed there's an opportunity for you to load your bet on certain high risk. There's a medium risk, there's a low risk. So for high risk you allocate certain on for this is exactly for Degen move, which is I'm against shitcoin. I am fundamentalist, but at the same time I don't know if you want to throw in that area.
So you're trying to say that in order to prevent yourself from falling for FOMO or hype, you allocate a sum of capital.
Actually, for me, right, I have a life mission. I don't, because if people who know me, I didn't spend much. My life is normal. I'm very simple dude. How to say, but there's one quote. If you want to grow your financial, the first rule you need to do is don't lose. The first rule.
Preserve your capital.
Yes, the first rule, don't lose. If you want to do a Degen move, don't put like 90% of your gain or whatsoever. Do that and wish. I am I'm a very calculative person. If you see on my desk, on my right side, even right now, I have a calculator. That's how calculative I am. And my calculator, I have two actually, one financial calculator, one scientific calculator. So yeah, even though I'm not in the finance type, but I have two calculators right now in front of me.
Okay, so Marish, on to you. Do you have a calculator by your side right now?
Yo, I do have. Why?
Oh, you do have also. Oh wow. Okay.
Marish lagi lah, our finance. Of course, he need to have.
Yeah, but we are on to the question of like FOMO and hype, right? How do we actually stop ourselves telling ourselves that we missed the bus, we missed the opportunity for this coin, you know?
Oh, how to stop is difficult. It's you okay, like this. I don't think you can stop unless you try it. Means you need to burn, then you only realize, then you stop. So it goes that way. So that's the only way to learn, I guess. To stop FOMO is to burn more. Then you'll be cautious next time. Okay. It sounds so dangerous. I think whatever I'm talking right now. But okay, remember, I only set aside 1 to 3% only for Degen move. Yeah, that is compared to whatever I hold lah. So yeah. So don't go and put your 90% inside and do Degen move.
Yeah, of course. We've got you guys obviously, both of you obviously have some sort of plan, some sort of percentage that you allocate yourself to for Degen, and the other rest of it preserves its capital and grows the capital gradually over the next few years, which is an extremely good plan. What do you think, CG?
That is Shinji, I want to add, that is because we burn a lot. So that's why we come up with that plan. Understand?
Oh my god. You burn so much, you're gonna end up burning more than Ethereum, the upgrade.
Okay, CG.
Yeah, CG.
Yeah, Marish will tell you he burned the Ethereum, he made it back 3 times more already, so. Yeah, but for me, I can say that yes, I do have a calculator with me as well, same as these two gentlemen here. But the 3 things I always tell my friends who want to go into the DeFi space, and do Degen moves. The number one biggest law or rule that I apply is do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. So if you want to start any investment or jumping into the DeFi or buying NFT, only invest with the money you know you can lose. You can afford to lose and you won't kill yourself for it. Of course, money is still money. Money, everybody shouldn't be throwing it away. But sometimes you need to take some risks for investment to see whether it works out, right? Like what Mari said, sometimes to learn is to burn. So yes, both of us has burnt a lot. Irsyad is the richest among three of us. He doesn't get burned. But never invest the money you cannot afford to lose. That's, I think, that's the first step forward. The second step is that, any Degen play that we do, we must always constantly take profit. Yeah, because if you don't take profit, you're always greedy to wait for the next green lemang, we call it, the green lemang, the green candle, you always end up losing. Because there's always people who are front running you. They are bigger wallets than us. There are people who know the inside story we don't know about, inside news and development, and there's cartel as well in this whole Degen play and DeFi space. So if you constantly take profit, you tend to lose less lah. Okay, I would say that. I think all the lessons, Marish, maybe you can attest to that. The reason why we lose money sometimes is because we wait too long to cash out. We always wait. Oh, there'll be more green lemang coming. Wait, it's not all-time high yet, not ATH. But we never know when it's all-time high. We never know when it's all-time low. So always take profit. And the third most important is don't fall in love in any coins or any tokens, right? Besides BTC for long term, I believe. But never fall in love. I think when we fall in love with some of the protocols or some of the coin, for example, what Mari said, Iron Finance was doing us very well. We fell in love with it. We continuously plow money into it. But it didn't do any good for us lah. So I think that's the three things that, yes, these are the things that we have to be very, very careful so that we don't lose more than what we gain at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, right? You mentioned... Yeah, Irsyad, you got something there?
Actually, this is very correct, Remember to take profit. This is really, you need to take profit. If you didn't, at least, of course, in crypto, there's an up and down, right? If let's say you buy a certain X amount, okay. Even me, myself, during BTC all-time high, all of these, Marish know, CG know. Normally, I will cash out like 20-30% of my BTC. Just park in the stable. That's it.
That is Irsyad. He park in stable. I always tell people, I've been advocating this. Take profit. Doesn't matter 10, 20, 30%, but take profit and go buy Gucci. That's that I always say that.
Go buy Gucci?
Is that why your wife is so happy, Marish?
I'm married.
Is that a question?
Is it another dox move? Are you doxing again?
I just assuming.
Wait, is my wife here?
Hey.
Yes, she was here.
Irsyad, you mentioned previously in our sessions that behind every man there is a woman. So I kind of already got the hint that you already have a wife, so on and so forth. And yeah. You gotta work things out yourself and picture the clues. But I think it's a very good point CG mentioned right there about taking profits, and also do not fall in love with any coins apart from Bitcoin lah. Of course, there's really nothing else compared to Bitcoin, which we will touch on later. The session stretches out way ahead. And just FYI, guys, for those in the audience, the market right now, the crypto market is huge. And if you think you can beat those whales, those insider traders, those governments, those people at Wall Street, right? Then you probably got to think twice when it comes to those rug pull projects or something like that. Because that's their entire strategy and you never know when they'll just pull the plug on you. So yeah, taking profit is essential for us to preserve our capital. You can probably go by take some profits and make sure you recover back your capital. And then the rest of that money within that project or within that or whatsoever becomes essentially just free money. Even though that project drops to zero, you won't be affected by it because you have already recovered your initial capital. That's what I think of things like. The speakers can actually chime in if you guys want to. Okay, I think let's shift gears, and since we are talking more about the fundamental sides of things, right, let's stay right here. How important is let's talk about market caps to begin with when we start. How important is market cap? Irsyad, you want to start?
because it gives you direct figures. For example, the one that people didn't calculate market cap. For example, okay, if back then people aim that okay, Dogecoin to $10, Dogecoin to $1. So if you really calculate market cap, in order for certain coin to reach whatever X amount, you need to see the ranking of the coins. If you really calculate, for example, okay, Dogecoin to $10, if you do a very simple calculation and you know if that is reachable, so it means Dogecoin already over Bitcoin, or Bitcoin maybe it need to grow
bigger than
100x.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. So by understanding market cap, it gives you a clear guidance what is at least maximum high, potential maximum high that it can reach. So yeah.
Marish, you wanna add on this?
Yeah, I totally agree with Irsyad. But for me, I like to see where the money is going to, where the money flow. I use all this ranking. I like to follow the money. So and then I will, once I know which coin I'm going, which cryptocurrency I'm looking at, I will calculate like what Irsyad mentioned just now to see whether it's feasible for it to go further up, how many times it can go.
Yeah, just FYI guys, market cap is basically how much money is in that cryptocurrency or that project right now, in very simple terms. Okay, and if we take a look at something like, just an example, like Dogecoin, right? I have the CoinMarketCap website up right now. Its market cap currently is $19.6 billion at a price of 15 cents. So if Dogecoin were to reach $1.50, which is 10x from now, its market cap will be $190 billion. Okay, if the market cap is $190 billion, effectively that will put it right now the top 3, ahead of Tether, and it's about 60% of Ethereum's entire market cap already for Dogecoin to do a 10x from here. So if you think that is feasibly possible, then please go ahead. But personally, I don't think not so soon lah, of course. So CG, what do you think about market caps, man?
I totally agree with what you have done and explained to the listeners here on how to calculate market cap and potentials here. Because don't get caught with all the YouTubers currently now, shilling coins and telling you can go 100x, 200x, or 20x. But you must make your own educated judgment about this, because all these YouTubers are front running most of the coins. They are probably buy a big shitload of it and then they start talking about it so that you pump up and they sell. So, but if you look at what Sinji explained, if it doesn't make sense, then something is not right. So don't just FOMO into something that it doesn't make sense at all. And see on the side, watch the market, everything will retrace. Yeah, even Bitcoin retraces. So just wait for your time, be patient. Be like Irsyad, maybe it's a hashtag now. Be like Irsyad, keep stable coins and wait, and eventually it will be a red lemang, and then you can come in. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Exactly. You always must have a bit of cash within your portfolio. We'll talk a bit about portfolio analysis and management later. Of course, all this is not financial advice, guys. Please remember, we're not going to give financial advice over here. But yeah, that's the importance of market cap right there, which we just explained. But rankings, what do you think about rankings, man? We'll start with CG this time. Is rankings important?
Yeah, ranking will show the reputation of the coin. I mean, how well it has performed over time, and it's all sorted by either, depending how you sort it. Typically, it's by the market cap or the price. That gives you a good indication where it is. There are probably 5,000-6,000 coins or tokens now in the crypto space. Not every one of them is value. So I think Marish and myself, we normally do is we look at up and coming. Probably top 100 is the only thing that you need to look at. The most is top 10 or top 20, and see where this potential money goes. Like what Marish said, we use tools like DeFi Llama and all to look into the TVL, total value lock in the chain. And then that will also tell us that how much potential this token can go up or not going to grow. Yeah, so we use those kind of tools available for us to make an educated guess. of where the money is going, potential of the coins, how many more X can it go? Is it a good time to come in? Is it right all-time high, or is this now accumulation stage that we can look into it to invest more? Yeah.
Now I do want to hold you back a bit on that one about the rankings. Is investing in a rank 6,000 or 8,000 coin? FYI, guys, there's right now about 17,000 cryptocurrencies, not 5,000. It's way more than that actually.
Well, I think there are more even.
Yeah. Those are the ones that are listed in CoinMarketCap because if I head over to CoinMarketCap, the top left-hand corner, right, 17,588 coins, which is bonkers. So if we invest in a coin which is like rank 6,000 or 7,000, is it considered a degen move? CG, what do you think?
No, I won't choose anything that's more than 100. Yeah.
Okay.
That was super degen, man. That's ultimate degen move. Right?
That is the ultimate degen, right? Yeah. Marish, what do you think?
I do have a certain amount that I'm willing to go super degen. I like to see all this market cap below $1 million. So that is really degen. Not a very good example, role model. So yeah, don't. It's really risky.
That's a whales move. Whales move like Marish is. If really this is true story. Whales who really accumulate a lot of whatever lah, Ethereums or Bitcoin, who are really early 2017, 2014, 15. What they are doing right now is, of course, they still have that Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatsoever. But at the same time, they allocate almost like 20 to 30% scouting potential new project. When I say scouting potential new project means you can get rubbed, you might not know who is the developer, either this project gonna go or this project not gonna go, you're gonna do that. This is what I think this game is the same if you are a VC, right? If you are a VC means you are invest in startup, or maybe you invest in 100 but only one startup really make it. So this is what VC do. But what is a VC in terms of crypto world? So in terms of crypto world, people who are really early, they have like, but for them like 2 million, 3 million US dollar is nothing for them. They can buy any crypto, but at the same time they can just put or invest in any new protocol or the way these whales do is by communicating with the developer, following the developer, talk with them, investigate, do a private to investigate who is this guy, what is this guy background. They check, okay, this project is legit or not. Even if that project they know is not legit, if they can enter early, they will do that. This is again a whale's move. Their move is almost similar to what VC do in early startup, which is spray approach. We just spray around and see which one is the one that flourish. But the only things that they do, they didn't put all of their fund. They only put amount that they're willing to lose. If let's say these people are willing to lose 10 millions, this guy already have 1 billion, so 10 million is nothing for him. So he just go scout for any new crypto project or DeFi project or whatever. So yeah, and spray, maybe 99 fail, 1 succeed, he already gain like how many 10,000x. So yeah,
you're definitely right on that one. I guess the ultimate point for us is to also diversify. If you want to be a degen, you gotta diversify your degen place. Yeah, right there.
But that is not easy, scouting and knowing people. That's not easy because there are many things that people do like this. Example, you are supporting the creators. You are unknown. You just support the creators. That's how you build connection. That's how people trust you. And at the end, you will see, okay, people will find you. People will find, there's new. People will feed you with information. Example, I just give example. So yeah, those are the games that play by the wheels.
Yeah, interesting. The whales, I would say they definitely own the markets when they come in and just pump 1 million or 2 million, then end up seeing the price of the coin just shoot up like that. FOMO, have everybody FOMO in, and then they can just go out, cash out their money. They have a lot of tactics they play these days. But essentially, what we were talking about just now is the importance of ranking, right? To me, I think I treat cryptocurrencies like horse racing. Okay, but I don't gamble. the rank tells you how fast the horse is. You don't want to invest in a rank 6,000 horse, because you know that rank 6,000 horse is not likely going to win the race in the next. And this race is like next 10 years. You got to have a long-term horizon, like 10, 15 years, or however long you want it. So that rank 6,000 coin might not last through that 5, 10 years you've put a time frame or whatsoever, because when a real bear market comes, all these altcoins, all these Degen plays, right, they all die first instead of the top 100 or top 50. That's the way I think of it. Do you guys have anything to add about this?
I think you pointed it correctly in the way of how fast it can move and what a potential that it can grow. Yeah, so I think we are referring to that as well. But there are also a lot of new technology that's been developed. Even though the coin can be lower ranks, but it's coming up with new innovation, or a lot of money going into that protocol. Then you see that it can leapfrog another protocol as well. Within the ranks, we have seen like Phantom has jumped from 30 something all the way up to top 10 within a couple of half a year. So things like that can happen as well in the world of blockchain right now.
Yeah, definitely. We have to do our own research and see which is more undervalued or perhaps overvalued right now. To put you into context, Phantom is kind of like Solana in 2021 also, just exploded at the start of 2021. So we can kind of see there's similar patterns over there. Okay, we will hop on to our last topic of the night, Bitcoin. I think this is very interesting. All the speakers will definitely share a lot of their thoughts on this. Why is Bitcoin different than all the other altcoins out there? You want to start, Irsyad? Why is it different?
Because there's no single individual has influence on that. Of course, you have many other things, decentralized, blah, 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 blah. But I love to pick this. There's no single individual that can influence Bitcoin. All other coin, they have a CEO. They have a people that can, even though theoretically, whatever that coin is decentralized, but there is a single individual that have a strong influence. When I say strong influence, means whatever they say can hugely impact maybe up to 100% of that particular coin. So yeah, but Bitcoin don't have that.
Yeah, just like a classic example of what you just said, right, is Elon Musk and Dogecoin. Yeah, okay. So good point right there. Basically, there's no CEO lah. There is no governing authority.
There's no CEO of Bitcoin.
Yeah, correct. There is nobody you can sue. You can use their intellectual property anytime, because there's not even a founding company, right? Not mistaken. Yeah. Marish, you want to add on this? Why is Bitcoin different than other altcoins?
Same. My opinion is the same as Irsyad, because there's not one individual that can actually influence Bitcoin. The whole, it's like countries have been trying to see ban Bitcoin and everything. We are talking about countries, because so for one only Bitcoin, I believe that there's no one person that can actually influence it. And on top of that, it's been running ever since in Bitcoin inception. So yes, there's ups and downs, but there's more liquidity coming in. So yeah, because there's not one individual. There's no like Bitcoin customer service or Bitcoin building, or you can call Bitcoin the CEO or some of that sorts.
In a way, Satoshi Nakamoto's anonymity is what I would say indirectly influenced Bitcoin's value over the long run. Because if he came out and, even though he came out and said that he's the founder of Bitcoin, right, I don't think it would have affected Bitcoin in any way or so. But I would just hop on over to CG first. What do you think about this point, CG? Why is Bitcoin different than all the other altcoins out there?
I guess the whole legacy of how blockchain come about plays a significant role as well. Yeah. So the scarcity, of course, everybody knows, and very true what Irsyad has pointed out. Like no single country, no single person, no single corporation controls this so-called currency that we are creating digitally, and it's able to move fast. So in way of how this is going to be adopted, as a future store of value, more than anything else, I believe. That's how I see Bitcoin as a store of value, replacing gold, replacing silver, replacing oil, that will determine the wealth of a country or a person in the coming years. So I guess everybody is looking into this as a future perceived value. Of course, the value of Bitcoin is based on demand, right? So if more of us want to buy, the price goes up. If all of us don't want, then it will not go up. But the narrative has been set in stone. So the whole optics of it is everybody understood that this is going to be the future store of value. And Bitcoin will continue to go up. I mean, there's no doubt. Nobody can stop this. No one nation, no one corporation can stop this from getting higher and higher. Yeah, not to shield this coin, but then it's a fact, I guess.
Shinji, adding on to that, to what CG said, I remember it triggered me that you have one tweet regarding 0.28 BTC. Perhaps that is a really, really good examples of it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you can
What is that?
elaborate.
I don't know.
Oh, so basically, right, if you want to be in the top 1% club, the 1% holder, you have to own more than 0.28 Bitcoins. This means that only 1% of the people in the world can ever own more Bitcoins than you. That's how scarce Bitcoin is. So the target that you must have is to at least own 0.28 Bitcoin. Then you are already in the top 1% club. You guys can search me up for the facts if you want to. Just go Google 0.28 top 1% Bitcoin. You'll be able to see the article and all the sources. Yeah, that's exactly how scarce Bitcoin is. But I come to a point where there's another thinking that, well, Bitcoin's code is open source, right? Anybody can just copy the code and anybody can just do exactly the same thing as what Satoshi Nakamoto did. But why can't it work? Irsyad?
Oh, this is quite tricky question.
Yeah.
The word is I love to use this like snowball, because if you're already too deep, means your hand is already too deep into Bitcoin, nobody will go or find or do something else. Yes, people can do. Government, that's why government use that for CBDC type of approach. Many people use that as a fork to understand what's gonna do. But I believe the way Bitcoin start, the way it is being adopted, the way it is being battle tested for a decade. So it's already undergo many tests, up and down, but because of that, it will stay there. It's very hard for people to try to compete.
I think your description for this, when it comes to snowball, right, it's called the Lindy effect.
Lindy, okay.
Yeah, it's called Lindy, Lindy. So I'll just read out. Lindy effect is a theorized phenomenon by which the future life expectancy of some non-perishable things, like a technology or an idea, is proportional to their current age. Thus, the Lindy effect proposes the longer a period something has survived to exist or be used in the present, it is also likely to have a longer remaining life expectancy. Which is literally what you just said. The longer it snowballs, right, the bigger the snowball becomes, right, the more people trust it. Which goes back to the original point of gold, right? People have been using gold for more than 5,000 years. So the Lindy effect of it is extremely strong, so to speak. Yeah. So Marish, you want to add on this? Since Bitcoin's code is open source. Yeah, please.
If let's say another individual, it becomes something different, because that individual, there's an individual creating another Bitcoin. So it is different from Bitcoin, where we know Satoshi Nakamoto, but he is unknown. Until today, we don't know who he is. But if another, so I don't think it can get that Lindy effect. And then another fun fact that about the 0.28 BTC in December 2020, the whole world there's 48 million millionaires, and there's only 21 million Bitcoin. So that goes with. So that tells you how Bitcoin is like people perceive it as a store of value.
We are also not we are only saying that that's the maximum supply of Bitcoin, 21 million. We are not considering those people who are careless, who lost their wallets, who been hacked or whatever, all those Bitcoin which has been lost to the void, right? That effectively puts it right now at about circulating supply of 14 million. Okay, the true circulating supply is 14 million, but we expect 18 million. Right now, 18 million has been mined, but 4 million coins have been lost to the void. So that's from my sources that I watched from. Yeah, it makes Bitcoin even more scarce. And back on your point, Marish, when you said there is 50 million millionaires, if each of them, okay, we don't say each of them, if just 10% of them want one Bitcoin, Bitcoin will already easily reach $1 million already from this point, right? So, yeah, CG, what do you think about this, man? CG.
Like the point I mentioned earlier, right? Bitcoin is there as the ultimate, the alpha in the whole group of coins. It's because of this legacy that Marish and also Irsyad has talked about. The legacy being the first one, and the adoption has really gone far along in 12 years. So if somebody just copy the code now and do it, number one is, of course, is centralization. Then what's the difference of being a Solana or being a AVAX, or there's a corporation itself running it. The other one is that the adoption is going to be very hard because legacy-wise, there is none to start with. Because of the whole 12 years, it's been far along and way ahead of everybody else. If anybody copy another Bitcoin coin and try to start it, he needs to win the world's attention and adoption. It's not going to be easy, right? So why Bitcoin has such a big adoption? Because it was really the genesis of all this blockchain. And people use it as this legacy point that, all right, because we have adopted it and this is the alpha of the group now. So we're going to use Bitcoin, and everybody has agreed to also just follow the narrative of that Bitcoin is going to be the way forward. Yeah, you can come and call yourself as futurist coin with the same algo as Bitcoin, but then you're going to try to win the hearts of the millions and millions of people to buy a futurist coin versus a Bitcoin, right? So that narrative itself is really at a losing end, and nobody can shield that well to get adoption immediately, unless why Michael Saylor buy a Bitcoin and not create a Michael Saylor coin? Same thing, because he believes in narrative that is the origin of where it came from, and it's decentralized, it's only 21 million, and from there it becomes adoption narrative for the whole rest of the world. Yeah, so simple as that. There's no way for us to duplicate it. It will never work. That's my point.
Yeah, because I think your ultimate point that really struck me is that time is what gives it value. A lot of people are trying to determine what exactly gives Bitcoin value. We'll probably talk about this in our next question also. But I think you stressed on the point where the passage of time and the experience of what Bitcoin has gone through is what gives it all its current value. And today, right, I just went to JPJ to settle some of my car things, right? And this Grab driver, come and pick me up. He's like, hello, bang, hello, boss. Then we end up talking about Bitcoin. He asked me what I'm doing. I said, I'm talking about crypto stuff. Then I asked him, do you own any crypto? Then he said, I own XRP and Ethereum. Then I said, do you own any Bitcoin? And the first thing he said that Bitcoin is hella expensive. Why should I own it? I might as well get a much cheaper cryptocurrency. So let's stick on this question, and we'll start with CG first. Bitcoin too expensive. How do we even grasp this or perhaps explain to them things like that? What do you think? Well,
I don't know how to answer this question. Why is Bitcoin expensive? Is it that question?
Yeah. It's like he told me, this Grab driver, right? Bitcoin is too expensive. I'm not buying it. So essentially, the question is why is Bitcoin so quote unquote expensive?
Because it's limited supply. That's it. There's a limited supply. I mean, anything that's limited supply in the market will drive the price up. Gold is expensive because it's limited supply. Oil is getting expensive because eventually become limited supply. I mean, the argument is more towards why should I buy Bitcoin versus XRP or ADA or maybe Ethereum, for instance. Why choose Bitcoin? I think should be the question. Rather than why is Bitcoin price so expensive. You can't control the price anyway. None of us can, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think we can control the price. But since you touched on the question where why should we get Bitcoin instead of all these altcoins, what do you think?
The same narrative we've been talking about. The Bitcoin is really the store value that we perceive for future, right? The narrative has been painted by everybody that this is going to be replacing gold moving forward. Yeah, it's going to be where we're going to hedge our inflation, hedge our currency against, and one true value that is deflationary, that's limited supply, which is Bitcoin. So that's how it's going to be.
Marish, what do you think?
Because in December 2020, there's 50 million millionaires. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. That makes me want to hold Bitcoin rather than other coins. So yeah, I'm not that complicated. So for me, that it's simple numbers.
Irsyad, you want to chime in on this as well?
Yeah, people say Bitcoin is expensive. Better I buy XRP or other coins. Here is what I'm gonna say. You guys can quote me. You guys can remember this session. When times come, people will use Satoshi as the unit. People won't use Bitcoin as a unit. People will use SAT as a unit. If you see how much is one SAT, less than $1. I didn't calculate, but I just roughly guess. How much is one SAT? It's so cheap. It's just a matter how do you want to position yourself. If you position as one Bitcoin, yes, of course. But again, when times come, one Bitcoin will always be one Bitcoin. People won't see, okay, one Bitcoin equals to whatever US dollar. For me, this is my 3 generation ahead type of plan. One Bitcoin, one Satoshi will always be one Satoshi. When times come, SAT is a unit that we all gonna hear a lot.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. We might go back to some sort of, I would say, a gold standard, but using Bitcoin as some sort of like the gold, priced in sats or whatsoever, and all those major indexes, all those major stocks or whatsoever will be priced in Bitcoin. That future is coming, guys, and I very firmly believe that we will see that future very, very, very soon. But that's because we'll just debate a bit about gold versus Bitcoin. My thoughts is that gold is scarce, yeah. It has a lot of similarities compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is scarce also. But gold is not truly scarce. What's to say I pay someone $500,000 today and ask them go to the Pacific Ocean down there and search for gold? And what if they find a ton of gold? Suddenly, the whole market will be flooded with gold and it will affect gold's price. But Bitcoin, there is no way to, I would say, increase the maximum supply unless you get majority of everyone's consensus. And gold cannot be manipulated, right? It cannot be printed out of existence like fiat currencies from governments. But gold is actually quite centralized. 30%, the United States actually holds 30% of the world's gold supply. So you wouldn't want to buy a coin which a whale owns 30% of the supply, right? And I think lastly is that gold is divisible. That's why people use it as a medium of exchange last time. But gold is so expensive right now that if you want to buy a cup of coffee with gold, you have to use gold dust, guys. That's how indivisible gold is. You essentially have to go and take this small bag and go breathe in this dust, man. That's my payment for coffee right there. So it's not feasible to kind of have gold to be our monetary system right now because there is so much fiat currency being printed. And for us to return back to the gold standard, right? I done a calculation back in 2020. If we went back to the gold standard, each gold bar would have cost about $70,000 an ounce. Yeah, I can probably show the calculations later. But I'll go back onto the topic. CG, what do you think? Gold versus Bitcoin? Let's talk a bit about it. It's our last question for the night anyway.
So maybe I ask you a question, Futurist. What do you think Bitcoin will become in future?
Exactly like what we've discussed. It essentially becomes the global medium of exchange, and everything will be priced in Bitcoin. They treat it as they peg themselves to Bitcoin, something like that.
You think Bitcoin will be a currency of the world?
I think it's possible, yeah. essentially it becomes like a currency of the world. Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I share with you what I think. I think I've asked this to Marish before. Now, if I give you an option to buy a pack of nasi lemak for exchange for some, maybe like 10 sets or maybe a certain Bitcoin, the question I ask you, would you be willing to part your Bitcoin for the pack of nasi lemak?
That's a very debatable question.
Yeah. So I haven't finished that. So that's from the point of buyer, right? Now, if I'm the point of a seller, if I'm the seller of the nasi lemak, would I be willing to accept the Bitcoin as a medium of exchange? Because from what I see right now in the market, the fluctuation of BTC is too big to become a standard measuring tool, maybe, or you call it, as a currency to value goods and services, right, for a start. So if I'm a trader, if I were to accept the Bitcoin, now it's very high, so you give very little Bitcoin, right, in translation-wise. And 1 month later, this Bitcoin drops 40%, 50% of its value. So what I'm holding now as an asset is depreciated 50%. Now, of course, we understand in the long run, give it 5 years, give it 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, this price is going to be so much higher than what you have today. But as an operation, as a business, like I'm giving a perspective as a businessman, I need cash flow, right? I need to run my business. But this currency fluctuates so much that I could not hedge against my costs, cannot hedge against my revenue estimation and everything. So I personally feel Bitcoin itself, or Satoshi or whatever Irsyad was talking about just now, can never replace it as a currency or medium of exchange. Okay, but I truly believe that it needs to be a decentralized currency. But I don't think so it's Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, from my point of view, still looks like another gold, right? Yes, the value of Bitcoin is higher than gold because we've elaborated earlier, the scarcity and all those. And you pointed out correctly, Sinji, that you can find gold. Maybe we don't know where the golds are, where is it buried? But eventually one day we can find. But you cannot find another Bitcoin because it's only 21 million minus 4 million missing. So my point is that Bitcoin will just end up as a store value or maybe a peg reference to a pool of index to determine the next universal stablecoin, example, just the name, universal stablecoin, where it becomes a true measure of currency, true measure of value and goods. It's like, example, I give you a ruler. The ruler states is 12 centimeter. But today, the ruler is 12 centimeter. Half an hour later, the ruler is 10 centimeter. Maybe half a day later, the ruler is 30 centimeter. Is there a true measure of value? Or can you use it? It's my debate, People have asked me, El Salvador is using Bitcoin. Yeah, probably now, but I think so it'll last because eventually they need to find a stadium medium. Maybe the country needs to have a holding of Bitcoin to hedge against a local CBDC or currency, but it can't be a true fair value of comparison. So I would think in future, Bitcoin is still going to be a store value as like a keeping gold, keeping diamonds, but it may not be 100% as a medium exchange.
Those are very good points shared right there. I think I'll let Irsyad speak about this. Irsyad, do you have thoughts on this?
Okay, I'm against CG.
Which one? Sinji or CG?
CG. Okay. What I'm gonna say, guys, I need to really be careful when I mention really be careful. I know this is the recorded session. Whatever I'm gonna say, this is very dangerous ideology. Disclaimer. Just treat it as something that might trigger your opinions and to think what's going to happen in the near future. Okay. Why CG mentioned about the ruler keep on changing, right? Sometimes 20 cm, 25 cm, is because we still treat it in the comparison of a fiat or whatever other type of measurement. Okay. I also did mention earlier, one day, one Satoshi will always be one Satoshi. It will continue scarce. You will use one Satoshi to fill a full item in your groceries. 1 year ahead, one Satoshi become 2 full trolley of a groceries. In the near future, people won't compare to fiat anymore. Now, what is happening right now, is something that most of us, maybe you guys are not ready to dissect it yet, or maybe you guys not ready to accept it. But what I'm gonna tell you, we are in the movement of one day there might be no nation. Everyone except the world type of payment, which is crypto, and it is not controlled by any single government. It is built by a powerful entity that is self-sustainable. It is so powerful beyond geographical location. Again, if you compare to gold, yes, gold is scarce, but does gold geographically independent? In the near future, we are no longer born by a country. We are one world. We are one world where we are still in the earth, right? If you want to govern, if you want to police, if you want to make a decision, there is a solution that's being built right now. And this solution is being tested. Directly I say, this is DAO. What if there's a method of governance where you will achieve through democracy? What if there's an approach? Because the first thing, in order for you to achieve this whatever, is actually the first thing you need to achieve is you must achieve financial framework. What is the financial framework? Bitcoin is the financial framework. That is a step number one. Step number two, Bitcoin must have enough power and adoption, and it has been challenged by a country. No country in the world will open-heartedly, okay, we will accept Bitcoin. But what I'm going to tell you, this is not going to happen. I'm not sure within my age, maybe within my grandson, but this has been planned, this has been laid out, and one day, of course, right now, maybe within 50 years, people still compare, okay, Bitcoin might not be suitable to run as your day-to-day payment gateway. Yes, but again, I keep on repeat this. When times come, one Satoshi will always be one Satoshi. You don't need you will achieve through democracy. There will be no single country anymore. Everyone will govern themselves. You will live in the in the community where you owns everything that you have. There's nobody going to control your finance. There's nobody going to freeze your bank account. There's nobody going to decide, hey, this land is not belong to you, because you have an NFT for that. You have a blockchain that determine what is your belongings, right? The first step to achieve this, as I said, the first step is you need to build monetary framework. Check, done. Second step, what you need to do? You need to build independent asset management. How do you define what do you own, right? NFT can be, again, it can be tied up to a property. It can be tied up to anything, whatever asset, your handphone. And who govern NFT? Again, blockchain, immutable type of solution. So that's a step number 2. Step number 3, what do you need to do? You must have a government entity. And how do you govern? There's a solution being built. So those are the checklists that has been built. And again, not many people who are going to accept this, because whatever I say, again, people might say, hey, Irsyad ideology is really like crazy. What is the things that he take, right? So, but I can't say much. But again, this is what happened right now. Be that 1%. Of course, you can choose whatever coin, because that is your medium of acquiring. Either you get external source, you are minting NFT, you earn crypto at the end. At the end, what you need to achieve in order to secure your generation, right? Whatever you do is maybe it's not for you, it's your 2 years, 3 years generation. Whatever you need to do, statistically, because it's already proven, be that 1%. And not only T1 Malaysia, T1 global. Achieve that 0.28 of Bitcoin, then you go step number 2, you go step number 3. Because it is happening, either we notice it or not, it is happening.
It is happening, and we have to definitely notice it, and we have to definitely also make sure we do enough research. And I really like the point you mentioned, Irsyad, and I totally agree with you. There will come a point of time where fiat currencies are no longer the medium of exchange. Right now, the US dollar is what is keeping everything in line. You know, oil is priced in the US dollar, gold is priced in the US dollar, silver, blah blah blah. Majority of whatever goods we can import or export, right, is priced in the US dollar. Now, seeing how they manage this policy itself. They raise interest rates whenever the economy has a downturn or whatever. They lower interest rates. Essentially puts the entire fiat currency system, that ringgit you're holding, a massive pump and dump scheme by a few handful of people. That's the truth that we have to accept tonight. Now, this is definitely not financial advice because this is really the truth. The Federal Reserve controls all the fiat currency, almost all the fiat currency circulating in our world right now. And whenever, during times of COVID pandemic, right, they lowered their interest rates. They started to print more money. They flood more money into the system. And you can see the market literally pumping back up again. And now because the market is going too hot, they want to raise interest rates to make the market dumb again. So if someone actually calls Bitcoin a pump and dump scheme, right, I would just be like, oh, you mean the fiat currency system? That's also a massive pump and dump scheme. Right? We just don't know who is closest to the money printer. That those are the people who really benefit from it as well. So I really agree with you where there come a day where everything will be priced in sats or Bitcoin and nobody can dispute about it. What do you think, man, Marish?
Oh my god, this is such a heavy topic. But
Yeah, it's supposed to be degens, right? Why are we talking about stability? Shouldn't be talking about stability, you're talking about degens.
okay, on one hand, I don't want to part with my Bitcoin. But on the other hand, I do believe, yes, Satoshi, we are going to use SATs. That means there's no comparison of Bitcoin comparison with other fiat currency or price. The price is in Bitcoin. So, yeah, I'm kind of divided there. Because for me, one, I really don't want to part with my Bitcoin. I want to become one of the 1% globally, right? So on the other hand, if let's say the whole world is using SATs, then I have to part with my Satoshi.
That's why there's a bit of TG mentioned just now, right? If everything is priced in Bitcoin, I think I need your thoughts on this also, Irsyad. If everything is priced in Bitcoin, right, and everybody treats Bitcoin as only a store of value, right, then spending it has no real incentive. We are all just going to gather it and try and minimize spending, and then at the end of the day, the economy of the world is going to be like very little spending. What do you think, Irsyad?
Okay, this is where layer 2 comes. Because as of now, nobody can predict what's going to be output of Bitcoin. It can be a hedge. When I mention hedge means there's a layer 2. There is something that people utilize. And who is the winner of layer 2? If you study the economics, right? If the economics, even the country, any country, whenever they want to issue or whenever they want to print new money, there is a details calculation of how much they're going to print. What is the inflation rate and so on and so on. But what if the decision of how much inflation rate you're going to increase, what is the rate of whatever, is done programmatically and it is immutable? So yes, people can design layer 2. So again, all of this being enabled is because of blockchain, right? So even for me, again, I have no clue what's going to happen on Bitcoin, but I am strongly believe one day people will perceive it one side as one side. But if there's a medium of exchange as a monetary network where people can exchange fast, we have Lightning and so on and so on. But at the end, it's still backed by Bitcoin. So I can't predict. But again, I already tell you guys, there are 3 checkpoints that is happening right now. The first thing is build financial structure. Second, build asset management or inventory structure. Number 3, governance structure. So if you achieve this, if you create an entity where not even a single human can disrupt, man, that's so powerful. So yeah.
Okay, so maybe I can I add something, Futurist, on this?
No, anytime.
Yeah. So as I earlier mentioned, right, what I meant Bitcoin is going to be the store of value. Is that the store of reference point for all world currencies is going to be. Okay, I truly believe it has to be decentralized. I truly believe it has to be in the blockchain, like what we've been talking about. It's just that the medium of exchange, it could be sats, it could be a universal stable coin, doesn't matter. but the reference point will go back to the ultimate alpha again, which is Bitcoin. Yeah, so like you said that if nobody trading Bitcoin, then there's no more movement, there's no value. No, I don't think so. That's true, because eventually countries or people, humans, will need to have a hedge against something, right? I mean, you cannot also grow a stable coin or currency out of thin air without any economic activity backing it. Yeah, either economic activity or a hedge like gold or Bitcoin. So you need something as a point of reference. Whatever algorithmic calculation you can do, it has to have a point of reference. Some oracle number that they can refer to has a movement of the currency up and down. So that oracle number, I just use it as a layman-term, as a reference point. Could be Bitcoin, yeah, could be Bitcoin. But yes, the actual exchange in the medium of exchange is not Bitcoin. Okay, that's my point. Yeah, it will be something else. It could be sats, it could be a universal Bitcoin. To make that the whole, everybody could actually trade borderlessly without any restriction. Yeah, that's trying to summarize what I'm trying to point out.
Mm-hmm. I think back to your point of like the Bitcoin and other, I guess it's the layer 2s lah. If I were to implement, how I view it is this way lah. Probably I think Irsyad can agree with me also. People keep saying that Bitcoin is not scalable, it's limited block size, high energy consumption, blah blah blah. But Bitcoin only has to serve as a settlement layer at the end of the day. And what it can do is basically, you can use a layer 2, right? Or other scaling solutions, Lightning Network, all this, to settle all those unnecessary payments, those micro payments, like you buy a cup of coffee, you buy something very small from someone else, a nasi lemak. It doesn't have to settle on Bitcoin's blockchain. It doesn't have to go through that, all the validators, all the nodes. But at the end of the day, at the end of each day, every single bank will tally their accounts on the blockchain once per day. So that is how you can really see Bitcoin be able to take over the world and become the, I would say, medium of exchange where you only use layer 2s and unnecessary transactions of the blockchain. That's basically what layer 2 means anyway. What do you guys think? Maybe we start with Irsyad first.
Short answer, I'm agreed.
Okay. Morpheus? Arish? Or are you taking care of it?
What was the question again? Lost that.
We were talking about like using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. Since Bitcoin is not really scalable, we just use, at the end of the day, Bitcoin's blockchain network as the ultimate settlement layer lah. You know, at the end of the day. Then use a layer 2 scaling solution to allow us to do micro payments, like a cup of coffee or blah blah blah. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. I totally agree with that. Because people are looking at start. I think they are Lightning Network. All those these are kind of like layer 2, right? But how far it can go, it remains to be seen. But there's going to be a lot of innovation is being done to further enhance whatever Irsyad said just now using sats.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of solutions to help Bitcoin scale or whatsoever. It doesn't have to, at the end of the day, alter its original code. Yeah. Okay. I guess we are down to our last question of the night. Our last question is we have actually, someone actually asked us a question. This one is for Irsyad. Can you possibly ask Irsyad about stablecoin risk? How concerned is he about keeping his portfolio mostly in stables?
Don't put in meme, maybe internet money.
Safer than ringgit, right, Irsyad?
This is also, of course, stablecoin also there's a risk. Okay, I didn't put on a stables for the sake of I want to put a stable. It's just parked there temporary until I monitor when is the right time I'm gonna DCA back. DCA back means this is very simple guide. I have a fear and greed index on my phone. I always refer to that. Whenever it is low, that's the right time for me to buy in. Whenever I see it's high, I'm gonna cash out 20-30%, put it there, and the cycles always repeat. So I didn't keep like stables for 10 years, 20 years. No, the cycles repeat. So the stables again I use for if I want to transfer it into futures type of trade example, or if I want to park as again to buy DCA back. And a quick because since I saw the audience mostly have a PFP, because most of us, one of our life mission is to have a financial freedom. Financial freedom comes with many things, but my short advice, because I know there are many creators here, the first step is actually, I know people create NFT, earns crypto. That's step number one. Step number two, you earn crypto. Of course, you use some for your day-to-day expenses if you need to, and some of it you look into DCA when it's the right time for you to sell your BNB, park into stables. Then when the times come, you buy back BNB or you buy back Bitcoin. At the end, your life goal is to achieve that T1. If you don't have enough fund, you create more NFTs, you earn gain from cryptos, and then if you want to go for Degen move, you buy coins, you buy NFT as a long-term investment. So cycle repeat and repeat. So yeah.
I guess the ultimate question for the night is, based on your own opinion, how would you achieve your own financial stability? I think Irsyad already answered this question just now. We'll hop on over to Marish.
Okay. I'm looking for ways actually, because there's few different type of stable coins. The one Irsyad mentioned is Magic Internet Money. What kind of name? What kind of name for stable coin?
It's magic. It's magic.
Magic Internet Money. How
it is
the
magic.
boomers gonna understand, right? How are these young kids gonna buy Magic Internet Money the day?
But it's kind of like algorithmically stable. So when the pack goes down, it burns, or when the pack goes up, it burns, and when the pack goes down, it buys. And then there's all this USDC, USDT, where there's real life assets that kind of like back to it. You may never know whether it's true or not. But how do I keep stables is actually I haven't found good ways yet, but if it's stablecoin means that it's one USD. So what I want to do is actually the stable coins, instead of in crypto, it's US dollar fiat. But that is for stability. But of course the for long term is always Bitcoin, 0.28 BTC. So for stability, it's I'm trying to find ways from USDC, let's say, and then to US dollar fiat bank accounts. But it's difficult because I need to go through banks and everything. So that's I don't have an answer for that. I'm looking at it.
So we're still looking to achieve financial stability. What do you think?
Because these stable coins in crypto, it's still in crypto. It is still in crypto.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's a bit of a tough question. What do you think, CG?
I agree with Marish now. Okay, so we still live in this existential world that we need money in real life to buy things, pay for bills, right? So we still are not digitized ourselves yet. A lot of stuff still needs to pay in hard cold cash. So we still need to find money to be able to pay for all those bills. So keeping it 100% all in stablecoin is not possible, right? So there's nothing we can do about that. But what I deem as a financial goal for myself is the term to which I use to reference it to myself is called an automated liability. So I want to use or learn or earn from crypto to be able to invest something that can generate a constant yield for me to pay my monthly expenses. Okay, whatever expenses I have, car loan, house loan, children's education, those things are very important for me to survive. So if I can achieve that financial independence where my liabilities are automated, then I will consider I have reached my financial wealth. It doesn't matter, it doesn't need to be a lot of money, but my monthly expenses are taken care of, right? So you won't know, one day you might lose job, you might be a full-time Degen crypto trader. Yeah, so like Marish like that, So, but you won't know. So it's best to have that security being parked there, to automate it and let it run. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But I do have some.
Wait. I want to ask CG. In real life, you mean in real life business or in crypto still?
In real life. In real life.
Yeah.
In real life. Yeah. Crypto wealth, I don't know how to measure, man. Maybe must follow what Irsyad do.
Yeah, you catch up when it's greed. Yeah, Irsyad?
When I do P2P, sometimes people text me and say, "Hey, are you Irsyad?"
Kantoy.
Kantoy already. But I do have some thoughts regarding financial stability. Obviously, we're not financial advisors, so we want to end off this in a good note. What the majority of the rich people do, and they don't tell us middle class or poor people, is that they borrow money. Now this goes to a lot of our natural instinct, it's like, oh, I work all my life to pay all my debts and now you are encouraging me to borrow money. But wait, rich people, they borrow money, they use it to buy assets. Why? Because when you borrow money, essentially you are able to spend that money right now. And considering inflation is at least about 5 to 15%, this year is about 15% per year, you are paying back that money in a much discounted rate. Every year is a 15% discount for you to pay that loan. So if you borrow money to buy a hard asset, say it doesn't have to be Bitcoin, it has to be real estate or whatever, then at the end of the day, you will make much more money because you already acquired that asset rather than just keep trying to save up money. Because if you save up money, you'll be a loser. You'll lose out to inflation. You'll never keep track of you'll never be able to buy that house because the house will keep inflating. And by the end of the time, let's say each year you manage to get 5% cash in your portfolio. But house prices are inflating like 10-15%. So there's no way mathematically you could acquire that asset. So that's basically what rich people do. They borrow money, they buy assets. So what people do is they borrow money, they go and buy like Gucci bag, car, all those depreciative assets, all those assets which will not appreciate in value. That's why all of the rich people, they're able to stay rich. It's because they own a lot of assets. And when you own a lot of assets, all these are they're not essentially taxable, Debt is not taxable. You can't tax debt because that's essentially how money is created. So I'll leave you guys with that to think about, So yeah, we'll end the session right now. Do the speakers have anything more to add? Irsyad, Marish, or CG? It's great to have you guys here.
Thanks,
I'll go
CG.
first lah. I'll go first. So the topic tonight was actually Degen, the ultimate guy. So back to the topic. If you want to go Degen, please be careful because most of the time it's a loss. It's a lost cause. Like Irsyad say in one word, it's gambling. It's a gambling kind of thing. So just don't go all in. Just make a very calculated risk. That is the word. The money that you are willing to lose because it's really risky in all this cryptocurrency world. Yeah. Anyway, thank you Shinji for tonight. Now Irsyad.
No,
thank you everyone for listening as well. Be safe.
Yeah. Irsyad, you got anything else to say?
Not much lah. Thank you CG for the session.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
CG, last words.
Yeah, I think Irsyad was thanking you, not me. Yeah, but so. Yeah, thanks for the session. It was really good banter and good discussion. My parting words is that follow the three rules that I set for myself. Never bet on the money that you cannot afford to lose. Always take profit, and never fall in love to any coin. I think you can survive, but just do everything in moderation. Really learn and do your own research. Study, listen, and read up before you put money in anything. Money is precious. Yeah. Thanks guys. Thanks for listening.
It is precious. So is Bitcoin also. Yeah. So to kind of, Marish, you got something to say?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So to end off this session. Okay, thanks.
I want to
everyone.
add. I want to add something, Shinji.
Sure.
CG, Irsyad, this is kind of refreshing. It reminds me of Clubhouse. This kind of talks actually, what's happening
Yeah, man.
during one
Yeah,
year ago.
man.
The argument
This
and
is-
debates, right? Remember?
Yeah, this is really refreshing.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Thank you,
Well-
Shinji. Thank you, everyone.
We'll definitely do it some other time again. Okay, if we like it, we'll definitely do it some other time. And I think the audience likes it as well. But yeah, thanks everyone. Stay safe.
All right, good night.
Yeah, good night. Bye.
All right,
Good night.
Bye.
everyone.